Hey everybody, Dustin Dale's back here at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge, Village Point Mall. You come out this week and check it out because we've got an NBC alum. You saw him a long time ago on Last Comic Standing, and since then he's been just blowing up the comedy world. And he's back in Omaha once again. His name is John Heffron. John, how you doing, bud?
Thanks. You don't have to say that long ago. You could have said was on NBC, you know, and left it at that.
Okay.
If you're wondering when I was on, it was 1974. For those of you who would like to know,
it was one of the very first.
I'm doing wonderful, and it's not all like we're sitting like I'm in a middle seat on an airplane next to you.
This is my space.
It would be horrible if that was you, and then somebody like you, like your twin, was right here. That would make for a very uncomfortable.
Just don't
flight.
mention the crew that's behind the camera blocking all your.
You got a very big crew.
Yeah, very big crew here.
I think that the girl who does your hair is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
The guy who does your makeup, he's super nice.
Yeah.
The person in charge of your pullover, super friendly fella. I wish him and his kid best of luck in the softball tournament. So,
you got to keep a good group of people around you.
Yeah, you got a nice one. They're all very nice.
You got a nice little posse?
I have nothing.
Nothing?
It's just me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my new thing. Is I fly above a city. It's called parachute Uber. I don't know if you guys have it here yet.
No, we don't have
and
that.
what you do is you call it, and then they take you in a plane, and then you go, I want to be dropped off, and then you just parachute into the city. So that's how I got here.
Nice. I like that.
I look disheveled.
It looks good on you.
Yeah,
I have to look into Parachute Uber.
Yeah. You don't get it everywhere. If you can't find the app, it's just because it's secret.
Okay,
It's a
good to know.
secret,
Good to know.
secret.
It was a very interesting week this week. There was a big snafu, one of the biggest snafus in television history with the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars? What did you think of that?
Yeah, I did. I saw the thing. You know what? As a comic, I've hosted a billion shows, and I do a lot of corporate events, and I misread things all the time. I never not.
Has that happened to you?
Oh, billions of times I've done it. So when you see it, you just go, of course. I mean, do you ever see like the actors and stuff on those shows and they're reading, you know, just the teleprompter, what horrible readers they are if they haven't seen the stuff? It's way different than if you memorize and then go out there. So I just have a trick. Like if I can't say somebody's name, I go, let's hear it for Jeff, and I back away from the mic and I do that. So like people just think I mumbled it.
I like that. That's a nice trick.
It's an easy solution. You should try it. Yeah.
You said you do a lot of corporate events. I was very curious. You've done a show for the FBI. How is that?
You know what's weird is I did, like I said, it was a big charity event for the FBI. And out of all the companies I've done, I remember were hammering my managers for an intro. They wanted like a little bit of info about me for the guy who's going to introduce me. And I was just thinking, out of all the companies I do, the FBI, you should be the last people that need me to give you info.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I imagine that background check has got to be pretty intense.
Or they could have just went Wikipedia, John Heffron, and then took the first paragraph, and you would have had my intro. But
Very
it's
true.
good. But yeah, so it was super nice to raise money.
Was that the most intense company you've ever worked for?
No, I do a lot of corporate events, which every type of, just depending on the business, just kind of, depends on how the crowd's going to be. I've noticed like money people are it's a little tougher crowd than if you're salespeople. And if you're salespeople in the car world, you're funner than salespeople in, so it kind of depends.
Now, there's a movie opening up this weekend, Logan. It's a superhero film, but it's unlike most others. But they're expecting a lot of money on this one. They're expecting it to be a big thing. Are you big into the superhero world?
I have underoos on right now.
You do?
I don't know. You're pretty young. Do you even know what underoos are?
They're the whitey tighty things, right?
They're not whitey tighties.
Close enough.
Do you know what underoos are? It's yes or no.
Are they similar to long johns? Is that right?
Underoos is the underwear that's fun to wear.
Okay.
You've never heard that before?
No, I have not.
Oh, so underoos are like superhero underwear.
Okay.
You had the matching briefs, and then you had the superhero top. It was very... Yeah, if you were around in the 70s, you would totally know what underoos were.
No idea. I thought they were something like long johns.
No, they were superhero underwear before being superheroes, was cool to be.
What's your superhero name if you had one?
The Sleeper?
The Sleeper. I like that.
Yeah, because like anybody bad guy would come to try to kill me would already think I was dead. But I'm not. I'm just sleeping. And then they just leave. And then I wake up, and then I do superhero stuff, and then I just go back to bed. And they're like, oh, he's alive. We should get him. And then they're like, oh, no, he's dead again. So that would be my thing.
Do you have a secret ability to put people to sleep as well?
No, just me. I'd just be able to fall asleep when there's like crying babies or in any scenario. So that's my thing. You could throw me in the middle of like a carnival and go, we need you to fall asleep now. And then.
I like it.
Yeah.
You're also got a book out, and it's been a while since that book came out. Have you been working on a new book?
I'm not. I might be done writing. No,
Really?
my God. I figure doing podcasts are easier to do because you don't have to physically. There's no spell checking, and I don't have to
True.
type anything. So me and my wife do a podcast called the Critical 48 Podcast. We only see each other for 48 hours a week. So that's our podcast. Is we catch up with each other, share info about the family that each of us should know, and then we take off.
Now, what kind of things do you talk about on this podcast? What do you talk about in those 48 hours?
Oh, we cover a lot. My wives do feel connected, how much texting is too much when you're apart, or how many days are you allowed to go and not text, which is, a lot of couples have that thing, especially if you're a couple that travels. That's part of it, is how long can I go, a day or two? Then if you don't get the text, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's like a whole big thing. She let me know that she wrecked part of the car on the podcast once. It's good stuff. It's pretty real. Yeah.
I get yelled at if I don't respond to text messages, or if I don't acknowledge that she's said something, I get in trouble. Do you run into that?
Yeah, I have about a 2 to 3 minute tether. If it's almost not instant, then I have some explaining to do, which is good to know if I ever just decide to disappear and leave the city in the dead of the night, that I have about a 2-minute window before she starts to chase me.
Is that a weekly show?
Yeah.
And where can people check that out?
Anywhere you go to podcasts, you can go to iTunes, just type in the Critical 48. It's everywhere. It's not hard to find.
His name is John Heffron. He's in town all weekend long. Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge. Make sure you come out and see him. John, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go get yourself some underoos.
I'm going to.
Perfect.